The parable of the two sons, lessons on obedience and repentance. In the parable of the two sons, Jesus teaches us the importance of obedience and repentance. The story follows a father who asks his two sons to work in his vineyard, and how their responses reveal their true obedience to their father. The parable of the two sons is found in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 21, verses 28 to 32. In the story, a father asks his two sons to go and work in his vineyard. The first son says he will not go, but later changes his mind and goes to work. The second son says he will go, but never actually does. When Jesus asks the religious leaders which son did the will of the Father, they answer correctly that it was the first son who obeyed, even though he had initially refused. Jesus then tells them that tax collectors and prostitutes, who had previously rejected God, were like the first son and would enter the kingdom of heaven before those who had claimed to obey, but failed to do so. This parable teaches us that true obedience comes from action, not just words. It also highlights the importance of repentance and the possibility of redemption. The first son, who initially refused to obey, changed his mind and did the work, which showed his true obedience. The second son, who claimed to obey, failed to follow through, which revealed his lack of obedience. The parable of the two sons challenges us to examine our own obedience and actions. We must not only say that we will follow God, but actually do the work that He has called us to do. We must also recognize the importance of repentance and the possibility of redemption. Like the first son in the story, we can turn away from our disobedience and choose to obey God. Let us all strive to be like the first son, who ultimately did the will of his Father.